Hey guys, welcome back to the movie summary. Beginning of the movie, we see a girl named Annie. She celebrates her 14th birthday. Her father Will gives Annie a laptop as a birthday gift. Later she uses that laptop and meets a boy named Charlie online. They both chat online. Charlie is 16 years old. Annie tells her father about Charlie. Now we see Annie at school. All her friends and classmates are hanging out with their boyfriends. Serena, Annie's senior. She invites Annie and her brother Peter to the party. Annie is very busy chatting with Charlie. She chats with him even while having dinner. Peter realizes that Annie is chatting with a boy. Annie tells her family members about Charlie. Charlie says that he is a football player, his mother is a teacher and his father works. Later we see her chatting with Charlie. He asks to send Annie's photos. Annie then sends her photo to Charlie. He looks at her photo and compliments Annie, saying, "You are very beautiful." Then she will be very happy. Next day Annie asks Charlie to send her photo. Then Charlie tells her, "I have to tell you something." She asks what is the matter. Then he says, "I am 20 years old, not 16 years old." Annie gets a little upset because of the age gap between them. Then he sends his photo. He is very handsome. Hence she becomes very attracted to him. Night they both have a sexual chat. Then Annie will be very excited. Serena makes fun of Annie's sports bra. She tells Annie to get a perfect fit bra. Annie tells her mother Lynn the same thing. Lynn says to Annie that "I will tell you what to wear when the time comes. Besides, you don't need to change like her, okay?" Night Annie is chatting with Charlie. Now Charlie says his age is 25 years. Annie is shocked to see this. She asks him angrily, "Why are you telling lies?" Later Charlie calls her. He calms down Annie's anger by talking to her lovingly. Later they both decide to meet. Peter is going to another city for studies. Annie and her family give him a send-off. Later she comes to the mall to meet Charlie. After a while he approaches her. Annie is very shocked to see him. Because Charlie is his father's age. She doesn't know what to do. He praises her beauty. He understands that Annie is not happy to see him. Then Charlie convinces her that age should not be considered in love. Annie is walking with Charlie when she sees her friend Brittany. Later he takes Annie to an ice cream parlor. There Charlie praises her a lot. Later he gives her lingerie as a gift. Yesterday Annie told him to bought red lingerie. Later they both go to a hotel. He asks her to try the lingerie once. Then she wears that lingerie and comes in front of him. Charlie admires her beauty. Later he becomes very close to Annie and becomes intimate with her. Charlie is recording all this. Actually he decided to record a video of himself being intimate with Annie. Then they both go home. From that day he doesn't text to her. Annie sends him many messages. But Charlie doesn't reply to her. Hence her mental condition is not good. She behaves very rudely with her friends. Brittany asks Annie, "Who is the guy you met at the mall?" Then Annie tells Brittany everything that happened. Brittany realizes that Charlie used Annie. Later she tells her principal about this matter. Annie is admitted to the hospital by the police and her parents are informed. Her parents don't know about Annie's boyfriend. They will be shocked to know that his age is 40 years. Doctors do a physical exam on Annie. Then Annie is asked what happened between them. Agent Doug investigates the case. He tells her parents that suspect is a traveler. He came here just to meet Annie. The officers will hand over the lingerie. Later they check Annie's laptop. They tell Annie to text him to find out Charlie's location. Annie does as the officers say. Then comes a reply from Charlie. He calls Annie from a private number and asks, "Where are your parents?" Annie says that they went to watch a movie. Just then Lynn gets a call. Charlie hears her ringtone. He realizes that they are trying to capture him. Immediately he drops the phone. Hence the officers are unable to track him. Charlie then blocks her number. Will contacts a private tracker in New Jersey to catch Charlie. But he can't catch Charlie. Because Charlie keeps changing his IP address. Annie meets Counselor Gail at the hospital. Annie says, "I love Charlie so much. Also he loves me a lot." The police are still unable to locate Charlie. Doug tells Annie that Charlie cheated on many girls before you. Hearing this Annie runs away from the house and goes to Gail. Annie cries a lot with her saying that "I understand that Charlie doesn't love me." Till now, Annie thought that Charlie loved her. Annie is very sad to know that Charlie used her. Later Annie is playing a volleyball match at school. Then a man takes pictures of girls. Will sees him. He asks him, "Why are you taking pictures?" Actually he is the father of a girl playing volleyball. After coming home Annie tells her father that "I try to forget everything. But you are reminding them." After that she cries a lot. Will is also very sad. Next day she goes to school. There are some people share Annie's photos and numbers online. So it hurts a lot. Brittany comes to bed with Annie. Will is sitting alone in the cold when Annie wakes up in the morning. Annie walks up to him. Will tells her that I could not protect you properly, I am sorry. Seeing this, Annie is also very sad and hugs him. Through an online video, knows that Charlie's name is Graham Veston. He is working as a physics teacher in high school. He also has a wife and a son. This is how this movie ends. 99% people watch my videos without subscribing. I am working hard to make these videos. My humble request to subscribe my channel to grow.